In today's video, I am going to be breaking down Scottie Barnes and comparing him to Victor Wembanyama, who is a massive talent who is in next year's NBA draft. So let's get down and let's check out these two insanely amazing basketball players. Really quickly, if you want to be able to shoot the basketball from further away, make sure to go check out my hardest basketball shooting workout down in the description below. So first off, Scottie Barnes is a massively amazing defender. Here he's able to clear a lot of space and get that block on the three-point line. If you want to be able to cover a lot of space, make sure to take massive steps. And of course, go straight up. When you're blocking a shot, of course, there's a lot of coaches who will say never jump for a jump shot. What you need to do is, if you're going to jump for it, jump to the side of the man. You can reach over with your hand, and then you don't make contact with your body. Coming off of a screen here, his man goes underneath that screen, so Scottie Barnes goes up for a jump shot and makes the shot. Now, why is this important? If this man goes over top of the screen, Scottie Barnes needs to attack hard to make sure that this man stays behind him. That way, Scottie Barnes will have the lane to the basket. However, by having the man go underneath the screen, this can allow you to create space so that you can create that shot for yourself. Now here, Scottie Barnes does a good idea. He relocates after this drive. This is a one pass away help, which is a no-no in all leagues. And Scottie Barnes relocates down to be able to get to an open spot. This creates even more distance between himself and his defender. And whilst Freddie VanVleet did lose that ball initially, Scottie Barnes was able to get it back and he was able to go up for that three-point shot. Now, there are a lot of coaches who will say a one-leg three-point shot is a bad shot. And we've seen players like Steph Curry and now players like Scottie Barnes hit this shot. There is a reason why it goes in. This is not actually a bad shot in my opinion. What you're doing is you're getting your shoulder and elbow in line with the rim, which will allow it to be an accurate shot. You're bringing your knee up to obviously create space between yourself and the defender, but also to get your right side in line with the rim. And you're not changing your shot really at all. You're still having that high release, that soft release, and of course, he's able to make it. Anytime you get a kick-out pass, you really want to swing as fast as possible, unless you have a wide open shot. Here he's able to get it to Fred VanVleet for the three, but while Scottie Barnes did have technically an open shot here after getting it, he swung it because the first thing you want to do is to swing the ball so that you can create even better open shots for your teammates. Here he's breaking down his defender, doing quick hesitation moves, goes through the legs. Now, the reason why he pulled for the shot here and didn't wait is because if you really watch his head, it's kind of in that direction looking down. He's watching the heels of his defender. By watching those heels, he's noticing that, hey, he's planted on the ground. If I go up for a shot, there's not much that guy can do with my long arms, and I'm able to hit that shot. So here, Delano Banton gets that three-point shot. He misses. Scottie Barnes gets that rebound. Instead of trying to fight four players in the same location, with one player down here in the corner, instead of trying to fight that basket, all he has to do is just kick it out to a player who's already running towards the basket, who's in line, getting in line. Guess what? Walking into a shot or jogging into a shot is going to be a very accurate shot. And I would much rather have a three-point shot kick out than trying to fight through four players. And Scottie Barnes is a very smart player, and he's able to see that as well, and Freddie VanVleet's able to then capitalize on that three. Now, off of this spin move, Scottie Barnes goes straight into the chest of his defender. Now, his defender was actually moving. His right foot wasn't planted, so while this is technically a blocking foul, not a charge because his feet were not planted, it was a good no call because he made contact with the defender and the defender was moving. Defender kind of had his space, but what you want to do is off of the spin, you always want to try and make contact with the chest of your defender, especially in the low post. That'll get him onto his heels, which will allow you to make that shot. The time where this will be called a charge is if you were to dip your shoulder down to make sure that you make that contact here. He wasn't purposefully trying to make that contact. That defender was just in his way. And at that point, Scottie Barnes was able to make that shot. Now, the amazing thing with Victor Wembanyama is his size. And here, he's able to get that ball, keeps it nice and high with both hands on the ball. And then when he does spin off, he takes one dribble, almost gets it stolen. He should have never taken that dribble. Comes to a jump stop, but watch what he does. His outside foot lands first before his inside foot. This will give him momentum to get to that rim, and that's exactly how he was able to score here. I still don't understand why players will hedge or at least drop down so far against Victor Wembanyama. They're almost baiting him at this point to take this three-point shot, and here he's catching it essentially on his left foot. He steps in with his right, and he has really good energy transfer. He's extending his whole body at the same time as elevating for the shot, and he's got a nice high release, zero thumb flick, which is fantastic, and he's able to make this shot. Now, this is just a really good example right here. If you've got bigger hands, guess what? Victor Wembanyama allows that ball to sit on his palm. His palms or his hands are so big that he has to allow it to do that. Plus, there is the fact that by having your palm on the ball, you generally have a more accurate shot, but just not as much of a controlled shot. You're probably not going to see too much of this in the NBA, but in transition, the opposing centers generally play really deep on him. They're afraid of him driving, but you also have to watch out for his shot too, because it's very accurate. Now, this is why this is called the dunker spot. If you can get this ball into the high post, which is what we see here, this will draw up those baseline defenders, as we see. If you can send up a lob to that dunker, guess what? It's going to be a dunk all game long. I'm not going to lie, there are not many people in this world who will be able to guard somebody as tall as Victor Wembanyama because he's got such a great touch around the rim. Plus, off of this lob, look how high he gets just trying to catch the ball. It's above the square on the backboard. Who is going to be able to stop this in the NBA? There are not many. I think that this is why the Raptors took a player like Christian Koloko, who can actually guard taller players like Victor Wembanyama. That's why the Detroit Pistons are picking taller players. That's why Chet Holmgren is so important this year in this past draft, because there's teams that are worried about Victor. I hope that this video has helped you. Both of these players are absolutely amazing. I think that Chet Holmgren, Victor Wembanyama, and Scottie Barnes are going to be the three players who are going to be battling it out as the MVP in a few years. I hope that this video has helped you. If it has, hit that like button, subscribe. Make sure to go check out my hardest basketball shooting workout down in the description below if you want to be able to shoot the basketball better.